Hi everyone, so today we're going to look at the upcoming development in the Orchard Boulevard area, which is actually called Upperhouse. So we're actually going to take a look at the pricing, the value, and even the layout in that development itself. And today, if you can enter something in the Orchard Boulevard area but at River Valley pricing, is that an opportunity? But before we go into that, let's actually look at the area.
Okay, so before we go into the area, right, just a bit of disclaimer. Everything we share right here is based on our opinion and experience and how we feel about the project. If you're really looking to buy into the project, right, please do your own due diligence calculation to make sure that it's safe for you. Okay, so where is Upperhouse located? It's actually, from this overview, right, it's actually right next to the Orchard Boulevard MRT, Thomson East Coast Line, and it's very near to the shopping belt of the Orchard. And from there, right, you can see they have near Ion and Botanic Garden, Dempsey, and also Grand Eagle. Basically, there is all the famous landmark in Singapore. And how near from it to the MRT you can see the Orchard Boulevard MRT is here. The entrance for Upperhouse is here. So technically, it's what they say a stone throw away. So from the very outstanding location, from the blue, we got the hotels, Book Hotels, Embassy, shopping mall. Basically, I think people who know this area will know this area. So this is the artist impression for Upperhouse. One tower. This is built to be luxurious. You can see very grand entrance. One look, you know, Upperhouse is there. Yeah. So from the overview site plan, right, you have a 50-meter lap pool, and also the tower, right, there's two different facing. So you want to know which facing you like, you prefer. So a bit on the facts, this is a 99-year and also 35-story, 301 unit. About 80% parking lot provided. So units makes 1 bedroom consists of about 20%, 2 bedroom consists of 60%, and the rest 3 and 4 bedroom approximately 20%.
Okay, so if we look at the Orchard Boulevard area, there's actually about 5 freehold projects. Okay, and if we take Boulevard 88 as an example, which is one of the newer ones, and we compare it to the River Valley area, and for example, if we take the Avenue, we realize based on the average PSF, right, there's actually a 400 plus PSF gap. So today, right, even though River Valley and Orchard Boulevard is both in the CCR region, we can see that Orchard Boulevard actually commands a higher PSF just because it is the Orchard Boulevard. So we are going to actually call this what we term it as the Orchard Boulevard Premium. Okay, so actually, but of course, Upperhouse, right, is a 99 years leasehold. So if you actually look at the leasehold, there's only 2 projects that TOP in 2020, which is 19 Nassim, and then we also have Cascaden Reserve. So if we use 19 Nassim, right, and we compare to Orwell Hill Residences, which is actually closer to the River Valley area, we realize there is a 550 PSF gap. Yeah. So again, we can see that even for the 99-year leasehold, Orchard Boulevard commands a bit of a premium, which is about 500 PSF more expensive than the projects in River Valley area. Okay.
So basically, right, people who buy the Orchard Boulevard already know that they are actually buying a premium, correct?
Correct.
So they have accepted this price range. So why we are sharing this, right? Sometimes people will, because right now there's launches at River Valley, also launches at this Orchard Boulevard. They will compare, why River Valley side is cheaper. So this is why we are sharing that there is this Orchard Boulevard Premium.
Yes, correct. Okay. So of course, the next thing we want to talk about, right, is actually deharmonization. Why deharmonization? Because Upperhouse is harmonized. So if we want to compare to the other projects, right, which is non-harmonized, right, we actually have to deharmonize it to actually find out the real PSF of Upperhouse if we were to compare apple to apple. So later we will share with you, right, the different way to actually deharmonize it.
So let's dive into the 1 bedroom. So just now I can see, right, the 1 bedroom, right, average in the Boulevard area, right, is about already average 1.95 million. So from there you can see 1 bedroom already transacted 2 billion. From 19 Nassim and the Cascaden region. Of course, their size is a bit bigger than Upperhouse. That's why we need to deharmonize Upperhouse layout, right? So that we can see the real pricing, real PSF. Is there an opportunity? Is there something that, in terms of investment, we are buying something cheaper than what people are paying for? So today, should we buy the 1 bedroom plus study in Upperhouse as a 474 square feet? So we will use this type of range to see the pricing. But why are we using 3,000 as a start, right? Then you say, Matthew, you can just anyhow quote. I will put 2005, 2009, but at the point of this video, right, Opus has in Robinson Key, right, has already give us a guide price. It's already out. I think the information is already out. So their starting from is as a 999 year freehold in Robinson and CCR, right. The starting from is 3001. So is there a chance that in Upperhouse, right, we will see this type of similar per square foot? And is this an opportunity? So Dylan, why will you have this type of situation?
Okay, I think the prices will be around this range also because I feel that there's a lot of upcoming competition in the CCR region, where there's a lot of launches coming out in the River Valley area. So based on this information, I would say that the developer will be very keen to sell lah. And if 999 in D9 CCR is really going at starting from 3001 actually this kind of prices might happen in terms of Upperhouse, because the developer will be very keen to sell.
Yeah, I think with all the competition, I think developer right now a bit more sensitive. They want to play it safe. They don't want to have consumer comparing too much. Because right now they want to sell. Then we have to ask this question of you: is competition good for us as a buyer today? I think this is a question that you need to ask yourself lah. So the next, so how can we deharmonize a project, right? So I think Dylan, I pass it.
Okay, so for deharmonization, right, let's say we take 474 square feet, right? Usually deharmonize is actually 7% smaller than the actual, because if you take away the non-usable space and everything, so if we plus a 7%, actually after deharmonization, the actual square feet that we might look at will be about 507. So based on just now the prices that we look at, if we were to divide, actually this would be the PSF that we will be looking at if after deharmonization. So based on all these PSF, we can see that anything below 3,000 will actually be close to River Valley pricing. So based on our analysis, right, we feel that this might be the price acceptance point if let's say you are looking for a safe buy in Upperhouse. But anything above 3,000 actually is also nothing wrong. It's just that it will be the Orchard Boulevard premium that you're paying.
Meaning there's no incentive lah. You are just buying the address, buying the area that you love it. But because if you are looking at the investment point, right, if we already get something at this blue color zone, right, I think it's a good deal lah. So for the 2-bedroom, right, same thing. The average transaction, right, already done about 3.01 million. So let's compare today. The 1-bedroom already transacted 2 million. So what is the price range if you talk about the 2-bed, 2-bath? What if this same thing? What if it's almost very near 2 million? Is this something that we should consider? Yeah. So when we deharmonize it, right, it's actually 749 square feet. And based on this square feet, again, it falls toward this blue sweet spot that if we can get below 3,000 per square foot, I think you are still getting a good deal, because you are buying Orchard Boulevard at a River Valley price. And if anything up, you are just buying based on the premium.
So of course now if we actually look at the 2+ study, we realize that the price has already gone up to about 2.4.
And this is Martin Modern River Valley.
Yeah, at least it's Martin Modern River Valley. So if we use this to compare, River Valley has already hit about 2.4. So if we actually look at the 2+ study, based again on our 3,000 to 304 PSF, actually we get to from 2.2 to all the way to 2.5 okay. Again, if we do deharmonization, the square feet will be increased up to 817 square feet, okay. And again, the sweet spot, like we mentioned, will be below 3,000 all the way to about 2.9, which the quantum, if you can see, is about 2.4. So anything 2.4 and below, I would say that you are actually getting a River Valley pricing, as we see earlier in Martin Modern. So anything above, again, you're paying the Orchard Boulevard premium.
So for the layout, right, for the 2-bed, 2-bath, nothing special, both the same, just that the kitchen, right, got slight differences, 0.1. You can't see the difference. So this one, no choice. It's just, if you buy the 2-bed, 2-bath, it's just this layout, okay. For the 2+ study, there is 2 types. For this, we place it at the first choice because what I can see the difference is this, more spacious entrance the foyer area. Because right now you can see this one, right, for this is a bit tighter, but actually the whole thing is the same. It's just that the way they place it already at the development, right, is slightly this style of facing, but it's almost the same. It's just that I just don't like the narrower walkway. Yeah, because from here you go narrow, then you come here also, the feeling is not so good So but both have a very livable, everything you need, because kitchen got window. Okay, so for the 2+ study, right, this is our first choice because there's only 2 layout. The only difference I see is actually this foyer area, because for this layout, right, is the walkway is actually more spacious. Okay, so for the 2+ study, right, this is our first choice layout. Not much different. The only key difference, right, will be this foyer area. For this layout, the foyer area is more spacious versus the second choice. This one seems to be narrow, but actually the configuration is all the same. It's just that the orientation is a bit different. Very livable. Everything you need is here. Like for example, your kitchen got window, toilet got window, study got window, master room you got window. So technically nothing wrong with this layout It's just that just for your it depends, because in the end of the day, today we need to see the launch price. We don't know, maybe the premium is put into this layout versus this layout, so we need to compare what's the difference during on the launch day. So today, should we buy a 2-bed, 2-bath or a 2+ study? because the key difference, right, will be the 64 square feet, and if you use 3,002 per square foot, right, is about 200k. So from there, you must ask yourself, what's the key difference? From the 2 plus study, right, you got this foyer area, you got this study, and a bigger master room, and a bigger balcony lah. So for me, right, in my opinion, today, I think I will take the 2 plus study if can, is compared to the 2 bed 2 bath, because you have a lot of, you pay more for usable space. Because sometimes the 2 plus studies in some layout, right, the difference you pay, the place cannot use one. So if the place cannot use, right, it becomes useless. So you're paying more, but something you cannot use. But for this one, I think all the areas, it makes more sense to pay the 200k differences. So the 3 and 4 bedroom.
Okay, so if we look at the 3 and 4 bedroom, actually for this segment, we won't be going too much into the PSF, because the PSF will definitely be higher. Why I say that? Because the demand for 3 and 4 bedroom will be there, and the developer also knows in the area there's actually lack of supply. So they will definitely price the 3 and 4 bedroom at the highest PSF. And the people that are buying the 3 and 4 bedroom, maybe they also won't be looking so much at the PSF. Okay, so if we go and search in the area in Orchard Boulevard, the 3 and 4 bedroom listings are actually very, very limited, which means there's a scarcity in the area. Okay, the average there is really going about above 4 million, okay, 4 million and above. So if we look at the 3 bedroom listings in Orchard Boulevard, there is only about 50 listings. Okay, so 50 listings, and we're not including the duplicate listings. Okay, so it's not many. And if you look at the 4 bedroom, the listings about 56 listings. So again, we don't count the duplicate listings, are actually really, really very little supply in the Orchard Boulevard area.
So all these are developer also to have this type of information, because that's why we feel that this 3 and 4 bedroom, developer will put more premium into this type of size, right? It's because Opus also do it. Opus, the guide price, right, the starting from 3.1, right, is all the 1 and 2 bedder.
Yes.
And when the 3 and 4, right, they actually has a higher per square foot.
Yeah. So because this one, right, we determine this will be very different from the OCR projects, because OCR, actually the bigger projects are usually the PSF is lower. But for CCR, right, this is a totally different way they are going to actually price their units. Yeah.
So again, the 3 bedroom, right, there is no only got one layout, so nothing to really talk about it. So for the 3 bedroom layout, right, 1012 square feet, right, there's only one layout, so there's nothing to choose for except the floor and the facing. One thing we don't really like for this layout is the very narrow. Other than that, everything is quite functional. Like everything got what you need, like windows everywhere, like normal layout normal livable layout. Yeah, everything is in what you need is what you have, what you get. What you need is provided in a way. Yeah. So what are the prices we are looking at for the 3 bedroom, right? Is we just put a start at a 3,002 per square foot in a way. So you can see it's about 3.2 million to 3.6.
Okay, so of course if we look at the pricing, we actually give a bigger range. We actually start from 3,002 all the way to 3,006, because like we mentioned earlier, developer could be pricing higher, even up to 3,006. So based on this range, we're looking at 3.2 all the way to 3.6. Okay, so this will be the pricing for the 3 bedder. Okay, if we look at the 4 bedder, the 4 bedder actually in the area has really hit 9 million. Okay, so if we look at the 4 bedder, we realize that the average transactor has already hit 9 million. So this is actually the average. Okay, but for the layout, maybe Matthew can go through.
Okay, so for the layout, right, there are 2 different layouts for the 4 bedroom. The key difference is this living area. You can see from here, and this they just swap the living area, because I think they are creating a higher ceiling for the living room. So our first choice will be this one, because when you come out of your private lift, right, your entrance will be more long. Then after that, we're quite straightforward. Turn left, then after that, your balcony. Whereas the second one, right, if you will come in, you'll do a zigzag and you'll do a zigzag. It's just personal preference, in a way. We don't want, it's like you need to turn a lot of place to go to a lot of place. Then I feel that, I think a long hall will be more grand in a way with the high ceiling. But the key, the most important, you must know for this project, right, will be the 4 bedroom that is fin. So they highlighted, right, in certain level the fin faces different direction, because so that they have, I mean for this project there are some views, right, that we can see the embassy, so they have to put the fin. So very simple. If you like this layout, just choose the fin. For this layout, right, choose the fin that is just beside here. Don't choose the fin that is over here. I think for this layout, you will start from 7, 11, 15, 19. I think you just need to mention to your agent, right? They will know which one to choose for you in a way, if you particular layout about the fin. Because I think you pay so much, you don't want your view to be blocked, right? Okay, so what are the pricing? So this one we put a even bigger buffer. We start from 3,005 per square foot. So technically 7 million upwards lah. So nothing to say, is just Orchard Boulevard premium lah.
Yeah, this
Okay.
one is higher PSF. Okay, so what is the potential quantum gap? But if we use 3250 PSF, right, for the 1-bedder, 2-bedder and 3-bedder, the gap is actually 400, 500 and even 1 million gap lah. But the 4-bedder, if you use 305, the gap is actually 1.8 million. So assuming you are able to get this kind of PSF, this will be the gap that you are looking at lah, if you are looking more in terms of the investment wise. Okay, so if you are looking to own a piece of property in the core central region, there's actually a few key factors to look at as a buyer lah. So for us, we always advise our buyers to look at the PSF versus the quantum. We also will look at the layout efficiency and also analyze the price acceptance in the area.
Okay, so today, right, Upperhouse is for buyers that really like the Orchard shopping belt. But if you are someone that prefer a variety of amenities, like you have school, wet market, shopping mall, then River Valley might be something more suitable for you. But in the end of the day, it's not whether it's suitable for you, right? It's also come down to the pricing. If it's suitable for you, but the pricing is not right, then also you might be buying something that is a bit of a premium. Then that one will be
your decision,
whether you
correct, can accept this premium or not lah. Yeah, so of course the key thing is we will not know the launch prices until the actual launch day itself. So it's very important, right, to have someone to actually guide you when to actually enter and when to actually walk away from this. Okay, because prices are only confirmed on the launch day, right, you actually need to know when to go in and actually when to walk away.
Yeah, sometimes we also need to know on the launch day itself. We can also, from the price list, we can determine what is the pricing strategy the developer has used. Because I know some development, right, the starting from is very attractive, but after the second level, the developer increase a huge price jump. So definitely we need to see that launch day, what is the price lah.
Correct. So if you are actually looking into the CCR, right, and want to spot a good deal, feel free to contact us. I'm Dylan.
I'm Matthew.
We'll see you soon.